Well, hello everybody in the Ivyt 120 class. We wanted to get together with you before next Monday's next deadline and talk to you about a few things. Number one, a fair number of you are not following any kind of logical sequence in anything. And I'm looking at people who turn in a given week 1 or 2 items and then leave out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the items that are required. Please look at the posted grade sheets. If there is a 0 there, that is an assignment that you did not do. You must do all the assignments to pass this class. Now, some of you missed the deadlines on the tests, and we sent out a message that indicates that we'll consider opening up those tests at the end of the class if it's going to make any difference in anyone's grade, but you need to pay attention to that. Also, please pay close attention to the attendance requirements. The discussion board is how we take attendance in this class. You also see that on the discussion board you are supposed to comment on what other people have said. Some people have not participated, and as a result you are in grave danger of failing this class just because you're not fulfilling all of the requirements of the class. So please pay attention to that. Also, do not post or send anything that's in a DOCX format, especially if you post something to Blackboard. DOCX is very difficult to deal with. You should send anything to me that's intended for me to see to me, and my work study tells me we're having a little problem when people send multiple attachments in the same message, so send each of your attachments separately. Make sure everything you send me is properly labeled. It needs to have your name on it. It needs to tell me what it is. Now, you probably have figured out there's a try it 1 in every chapter, and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 in almost every chapter. So do not tell me it's try it 1 without telling me what chapter. You're also well advised to give me the subtitle. Try it 1, chapter 1, Why I'm Going to College, so that we know exactly what it is you're talking about. Nickel and dimed is a class requirement. A fair number of you are not turning in the nickel and dimed aspects of things. Some of you have not read the instructions, and as a result you have not sent me your proposal for your service learning project. That is a requirement. Service learning project is also a requirement of this class. You need to get that approved, so you need to choose where you're going to be performing your service learning assignment. That's 4 hours volunteer work in a human services nonprofit social services agency. You pick it. It's in your area. You do it, and then you'll write a reflection paper on it. Some of you still are sending me quizzes, journals, study quizzes, and also the case studies. Told you not to do that, and it's not part of the assignment, so don't do that. Some of you are staying very up to date on the quizzes and doing quite well. Let me go through a couple of things. Flower, I'm only going to speak in terms of fantasy names. Flower, you ought to just do incredibly well in this course. You're doing so well already. Keep up the great work. Let's take a look here. Junior, you're doing a good job, but keep in mind that zeros will hurt you, so you need to turn in everything in order to do very, very well. Angelica, nice going. You're doing well in the class too, and keep up the good work. So basically, here's the deal. You need to turn in a properly formatted, a properly labeled reflection paper on all of the assignments as it says in the course calendar and on the various things that are out there for you to look at. You need to make sure you take the tests at the time that they're posted. You need to do the discussion board, because that's how we take attendance in the class. And you need to follow the directions on the reflection papers. Number one, they need to get them to me on time. If they're not sent in on time, the grade will be severely affected. You need to do that. I've had a couple of people I've talked to You know who you are, and you know the arrangements we've made. But anyone else, if you haven't talked to me and we have no special arrangement, your paper is not coming in on time. That means Monday at noon. And oh, by the way, we're already through chapter 4 on some of these things, and some of you aren't even up to that. This is a 16-week class that's done in 8 weeks, so you've got to do twice the amount of work per week in order to get everything done by the 16 weeks. So, format on your reflection papers, 1 full page, double spaced. Don't send me anything single spaced. 1 full page, double spaced, and watch your grammar and your spelling. This is not an English class, but do watch that. Make sure you've paid attention to it. And make what you write thoughtful. Don't just hack off something there and send it in to me. I shouldn't tell you this. There will be some of these exercises that perhaps you knew a lot about, and so you're going to say perhaps a variation of, this didn't do very much for me, and that's okay, but you need to tell me why. And that's going to take a page to do why it didn't mean anything to you. It could be that you've already been through something like that, or you've already done something like that. Explain that. So 1 page reflection paper, 1 page, double spaced, and please do the assignments. We've got a pretty good sized class here, but we still have a fair number of people who have not done any of the assignments, or who are being really selective in what they're doing. Your grades will be posted. I'll send a message when they are. If there's a 0 there for anything you've done, then it's going to just slap you in the face by the end of the course, if not sooner, that your grade is severely affected. Some of you have not sent me your fantasy name. If you see a fantasy name in a color, red, green, orange, and lilac, that's because you didn't send me a fantasy name, and thus you don't know who you are. So I need a fantasy name. The directions are there. Follow the directions. If you have any questions, give me a shout, and I look forward to your next round of work. Some of the stuff you've been turning in is pretty well done, and congratulations to the people I named. Some of you are close. Keep up the good work, and we'll get your names mentioned next time. Have a great one. We'll be talking to you.